All right. So just get nice and comfy and really find yourself settling into your space. And then maybe as you close your eyes and become more and more aware of your space, you also feel the energy of our space, each of us coming together in community. What I love about energy is that it reaches through computers and across seas and through space. Right? Energy is limitless, it's boundaryless. Right? We don't need a passport. We don't need anything. Right? We're all here in this same space together. So let's take in that energy of each other and just really feel the energy of community and support and how absolutely amazing that is. I love when I close my eyes how all of my other senses really begin to kind of heighten. And in particular, my sense of intuition, right? That sixth sense, that ability to feel love, to feel things that people say are not tangible, but they're so tangible. Right? Everything is a matter of perspective. So feel yourself loved right now. I am sending each of you such a huge piece of my heart. Feel that. Take a deep breath in. Exhale completely. Bring your palms together. And we'll open with Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. If you know it, please join with your voice, if not, with your ears. Nice deep inhale. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo Om Namo Guru Dev Namo Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Pause and feel. Beautiful inner guru, that intuition, that wisdom, always at your beck and call, always waiting to be summoned, to be invited. Feel that rising up. And then moving into our next chant, Ad Gare Name, celestial communication version. Ad Gare Name at the heart. Jugad Gare Name, third eye. Sat Gare Name, opening up. And then Siri Guru Deve Name, bringing it all back to your own heart. 3 times together. Ad Gare Name. Jugad Gare Name. Sat Gare Name. Sri Guru Deve Name. Ad Gare Name. Jugad Gare Name. Sat Gare Name. Sri Guru Deve Name. Ad Gurename, Jugat, Gurename, Sat, Gurename, Siri Guru Deve Name. One more time. Ad Gurename, Jugat, Gurename, Sat, Gurename, Siri Guru Deve Name. Just pause and feel. Maybe open your fingers a little bit so the thumbs and the pinkies still touch, but the other fingers open to a beautiful lotus shape as you feel that energy of protection, of truth, pouring into every cell of your body. Bring your focus to your fingers, to your palms, connected to your heart space. These amazing minor chakras, these little energy centers in our palms that allow the energy of peace and love and compassion to flow every time we touch somebody. Every time we focus our palms forward, we place them on our own hearts. Feel that energy. Then inhale the arms up into prayer overhead. Squeeze the pelvic floor, the navel center up. Squeeze the whole spine, stretching, growing, holding. And then exhaling very slowly, releasing the bond. Feeling the movement through that very tangible energy of you. That vibration, that buzz in the air. And then letting your fingers touch the earth. Pause of gratitude. And with your eyes still closed and your fingers touching the earth, become aware of the energy from below. I talked a lot last week about the first chakra, the root chakra, our connection to the earth, our right to be here, our instinct to survive, to eat and to sleep and to procreate, to gather. Feel that tangible energy of your roots. And then as you open your eyes, you're going to slowly make your way onto your hands and knees and then move into child's pose. So as you move onto your hands and knees, bring those big toes together, your knees nice and wide. Sit back on your heels and just sink forward into child's pose. One of the energies that's very connected to our root chakra is the energy of acceptance. I'm going to read a little reading about acceptance that I love. It says, if you choose to see everything as a miracle, then where you are right now is perfect. There's nowhere to run to. There's nothing else to do except be in this moment and allow what is to be. From that place of radical acceptance, major changes can happen. The first step in any transformational experience is acceptance and surrender to the present moment, the way it is, or the way I perceive it, maybe. From that place, we have the awareness, the humility, and the power to change what is. And that's a quote from a man named Mastin Kipp. And when you think about that, all change begins from accepting what is right now. And what is right now is usually a matter of perspective, but it's my perspective, so it's happening to me right now, if that's how I perceive it. And I find that more and more and more, I become aware that I don't always naturally live in acceptance. There are lots of times that I'm in denial about a situation or an interaction or my part in things. There are shadows, there are things about me, the way I behave, there are personality traits that I don't necessarily love, right? And so I put my attention on the things that I do love, and I just kind of ignore those others. And that's not acceptance. Acceptance is fully acknowledging, okay, this is a part of me, or this is what's going on in this situation right now. I don't like it. So acceptance is not to say, okay, this is great, this is fine, I love this. Acceptance simply means being aware of what's going on right now or what I'm feeling right now, and accepting it for what it is right now, knowing that it won't last, because nothing lasts. But ironically, when I'm not accepting what's going on or what I'm feeling, by pushing away from it, by not looking at it, it prolongs its visit. Right? Because everything that moves through us, every situation, even material things, our emotions, it's all just really a transient situation. They're just visitors. Nothing really takes root long enough to be forever except our breath, except our existence here in these physical bodies until that is no more. And then even that is something that we move on from, depending on what it is that you believe. Right? So what can we do to foster the energy of more acceptance, right? To truly accept where we are, we have to make peace with our own human existence. We talk about Dharma a lot, what we each came here to do. And what I've found is that I believe I've come here to do a lot of things, some of them big, some of them small. And I'm guided to what each of those is each day, one step at a time. Right? So if I can accept each situation that's put in front of me, maybe I'm having an argument with a family member. If I can pause in that moment and accept the fact that we're not agreeing with each other, that there's something going on here that doesn't feel great. If I can accept that, then I can move toward the situation, the solution of what will feel great. What do I need to do to bring more peace into the situation for me? If I am constantly trying to be right in that situation or point out what they're doing wrong, or if I'm embarrassed about the way I'm acting and not owning it, I am nowhere near moving into the energy of peace. So the sooner I can stop and take a breath and say, this is not going where I want it to go, and own my peace, accept that I'm not perfect, accept that there are lots of times that I say and do things that if I had paused and thought about it, maybe I wouldn't have said and done. And then make those things right by just acknowledging it, that's acceptance. And sometimes acceptance involves faking it until you make it, right? Because it doesn't always feel so good to look at the parts of us that we don't love, or look at a situation and acknowledge, okay, I have to leave this house that I love, or okay, this job is ending, or okay, this relationship is ending and I don't want it to, or this relationship is ending and I want it to, but the other person doesn't want it to, and I feel bad. If we can look at all that and feel all the emotions around that and then just accept that this is what's going on, then we begin to move into the energy of how to shift. So just some stuff to think about as we move through our practice, through our lives. Same thing, practice and life. Take another breath here, wherever you are, resting. And then slowly come up to a seat. I can't talk today. I've been having too much fun. My brain is still spinning around. I'm still on the beach. And just sit nice and comfortable. And bring your hands back into that lotus position at your heart. So the pinkies and the thumbs touching, fingers open. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let your hands float forward, come apart, move out, and all the way back. So a nice stretch. And then inhale and come back to that lotus at your heart. And keep going, moving your breath, really pausing and stretching as you open. And feeling that connection at your heart as you come back together. You can close your eyes if you like. And you can even either just keep doing it this way, or you can even start to bring in that spinal flex if you would like, starting to move your heart forward as your arms come back, and doing a little rounding as your lotus comes back to your heart. In the recovery world, the serenity prayer, accept the things you cannot change. And that is anything outside of myself. Change the things you can, and that is my thoughts, my reactions, my emotions, my ability to accept the truth of the situation as it is right now. And the wisdom to know the difference is sometimes the hard part. So often I want to change something about a situation to make it feel better instead of first accepting that I'm uncomfortable and being okay with that. Right? Acceptance is pure grace. There's no way to really define it. Right? We just have to step into it. We have to be willing to pay attention to our thoughts, to acknowledge, to be honest with ourselves, self-honesty. Next time you come forward, if you're not already bringing your heart forward, do that. Let your fingers interlace down behind your sacrum. Let your shoulder blades come onto your back. Heart wide open, really opening up those shoulders. And then from here, just start to bring your chin towards your chest and then up to the sky. Keeping those shoulders moving back, opening up that heart. And then starting to open up the throat as well. So when we're grounded in that energy of acceptance, when we're really in our root chakra energy, it's a lot easier to feel safe enough to get vulnerable, to open that heart. And when that heart opens and all this information begins to flow, and then our throat center opens and the truth comes out of our mouths, no matter what the truth is, even if it's a hard truth, laced with so much love and compassion that you can't bring anything but peace to a situation. Peace doesn't mean there's not going to be sadness, there's not going to be grief. Doesn't mean everybody's going to be happy with the outcome. Next time that you look up, release your hands to your side. So on either side of your body, place them on the floor. Let your chin come back to neutral. Keeping your right fingers on the floor, inhale your left arm up to the sky. Reach over, come on back down. Move to the other side, right hand up and over. And just keep going, flowing side stretches. I also think that acceptance and forgiveness goes hand in hand. I definitely have some family members that I have a hard time with, and it has nothing to do with who we are now. It has everything to do with childhood stuff, things we're all working on, always. Right? And sometimes I notice when I catch myself, I'm a lot harder on those family members than I am on friends or strangers. And so softening that energy. The next time that you find your hands on the floor, pause, stay there, and just begin to roll your neck, chin to chest, right ear to right shoulder, head back, left ear to left shoulder. Right, there's that beautiful quote, that beautiful reading from St. Francis of Assisi, and part of it is that in pardoning, we're pardoned, right? So any judgment that I have, any lack of acceptance for somebody else translates to the same in me. What I see in you is a reflection of what I see in me. So how can I soften that? How can I relax my judgment, open a door to a new perspective? A couple more. Then move in the other direction. Even acceptance in situations where somebody has really, really wronged me. Right? We all are in situations where we really know that we've been treated very unfairly. Acceptance is not saying that that's okay, but it's a decision to not be burdened with the feelings of pain, the energy connected to that situation. So it's a matter of saying, you know what? I don't mind, because if I don't mind, it doesn't matter. I'm letting it go. I don't want this to be a part of who I am or in my, in my vibrational field. Right? Releasing, it's not excusing someone's transgressions. It's not saying it's fine that you're doing this. It's saying I'm stepping away because I don't want to be a part of this. Come to stillness. Just let your hands rest on your knees, your spine nice and tall. Bring your hands up now to your shoulders and just start to inhale left, exhale right, inhale left, exhale right. Twisting now the entire trunk of your body from side to side. Opening up energy, opening up possibility. Other energies that I think really feed into the energy of acceptance is empathy and compassion, because sometimes I think somebody's just being a jerk. But when I stop and I put myself in their shoes and I try to see from a different perspective, I realize they're just not hearing the meaning of the words that I'm saying. They're hearing it differently. I'm saying one thing, they're hearing something else. And so if I can stand in their shoes, if I can accept their perspective, then I can soften, I can stop arguing. I can't tell you how many arguments I think I've had where we're both actually trying to say the same thing, but neither one of us is hearing the same thing from the other person. So it's interesting when you start to move into that energy. Come to stillness. Let your left hand rest, palm up on your knee. Take your right hand, bring it to your chest, and you're going to just begin to tap right in the center of your heart. Close your eyes and just gently tap. Long, deep breaths. And then start to move in circles, tapping in small circles around the center of your heart. And start to go quicker and quicker. Maybe making the circles bigger and bigger. And then begin to tap in the opposite direction. Big, wide circles, long, deep breathing. And then start to make the circle narrower and narrower, and slower on the tapping and slower, until you find yourself right back in the center, just tapping, 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 no circles. And then bring that hand to stillness, bring your palm right into the center of your heart, and just start to massage your heart center. Giving any emotions that are settled anywhere inside of you permission to rise up and out. Maybe noticing those emotions. Where do you feel them? Like right now, I'm feeling, as I'm doing this with you, like I'm having a little trouble breathing. There's something coming up for me that's causing a little trouble breathing. So just accepting whatever comes up. Just sending love there. Just noticing, oof, look at that. And then begin to circle in the other direction. And just imagine a freeing of energy. Imagine as you circle in the opposite direction, a beautiful portal opening in the center of your heart. And anything that needs to be released, moving up and moving out. A little more space, a little more breath. And bringing the right hand to join the left, palms facing up on your knees. Bringing your legs straight out in front of you. You can sit on a blanket or two if you'd like. I'm going to bring your arms forward, thumbs up. Curl the other fingers in. And first, you're just going to move the right hand forward as the left comes back, like you're pulling on an arrow. And then slowly switch. Keep going from side to side, kind of like a pulley motion. Close your eyes, bring your breath along. The next time that your right hand is back and then comes forward, both thumbs up, both arms forward, you're going to begin to move forward towards your toes and then backwards as if you were going to fall back. And just keep going. Engaging your core. Beautiful. Keep going. The next time you come forward, let your hands fall onto your shins. And then as you come back, drag your hands along your shins, up your knees, your thighs. Bring your arms up to the sky, down toward the toes. Drag those hands along your legs. And do that a few times. A hug, a touch is sometimes so soothing, and it doesn't have to come from someone else. It's beautiful when it does. But the sense of touch on our own body, right, to comfort, to allow that sense of I'm here for you, give that to yourself. The next time that you come forward, pause there. Slowly come all the way up. Bring your legs back into easy sitting pose. And you're going to roll over your knees onto hands and knees. Tabletop. And from here, you're going to inhale your right arm out to the right and up to the sky. And exhale, you're going to thread it through, but don't bring your shoulder down. Just thread it through. And then inhale it back out. And thread it through and just keep going. And the next time you thread it through, let that right arm come down to the mat. Your left arm can either, or hand can either inch out toward the corner of the mat or come onto your sacrum, whatever feels good. You're going to rest your right shoulder onto the mat, coming in to thread the needle, Natalia. So you're going to come to stillness. You're going to thread it right through. Yep. And you're going to stay. Beautiful. So often when we don't allow ourselves to move into the energy of acceptance of a situation, we stay stuck in the anger and the resentment. And I read somewhere that resentment is like drinking poison and hoping somebody else will die. Right? We get this resentment about things and we hold it in our body. And it gets stuck there and it turns into this bitterness, and it's so not who we are. And so it feels so foreign in our bodies. It feels not comfortable. And it turns into things like illness. Inhale that right arm up to the sky. Exhale, planting the right hand onto the mat. Moving to the left, inhaling the left arm up and threading through and up and threading through. Keep that flow going. So if we can let go of our judgment and our resentments and our bitterness of the past, step into the future, or step into the present and get excited about the future. How awesome is that? We carry things based upon stories we tell ourselves. Next time you reach up, up, and then thread through and let that shoulder come down to the mat. Beautiful. And again, that right hand is going to either move out toward the edge of the mat, come onto your sacrum, up in the air, whatever gives you the most space. Someone told me a story recently about someone they bumped into, and they didn't even really recognize the person. They kind of knew that they'd seen him somewhere before, and the woman started talking to her and began apologizing for behavior at an event like 20 years ago. And, my friend listened and said, okay, no, absolutely, yes. But, then told the woman, I have to be honest with you, though, I don't remember any of this. So this event in this woman's life, she's carried it for 20 years, this energy of it, her shame, her guilt, all of this stuff. And her behavior was not perceived by the people around her the way that she perceived her behavior. And so she carried this burden instead of addressing it for 20 years. for 20 years. Makes me wonder, what do I do that with? Take another breath. And come on up, arm up to the sky, right, reach, 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 and then planting that hand down. Coming back into tabletop. From here, you're going to circle your hips around, nice deep hip circles. Opening up, making space, bringing that butt back towards your heels and out to the right, out to the left. And coming back to center, planting those hands on the mat. Doing a little bit of cat-cow here. Flexing that spine. And coming to center, I'm going to step your right foot right in between your hands. And then inhale those arms up to the sky. You have some blocks there to help you if you'd like. I love my blocks. I miss my blocks. So coming into Anjane, so your back knee is on the mat, yep. Coming into Anjaneyasana, arms up to the sky, bending so deeply into that right knee. There you go, Jan, you got it. Inhaling up, feeling that space, feeling that balance. And then taking your right hand, placing on the inside of your right leg, all the way down to the floor. Placing it right, yeah, there you go. Left arm up to the sky, twisting up. Left arm down. Inhaling back up to Anjaneyasana, both arms up to the sky. And then exhaling your hands down to either side of that right foot. Press into your hands, lift that back leg. Step your right leg back, moving into downward facing dog. There you go. Take a nice little stretch here in downward facing dog. And then inhale your left leg up and back and step that left foot back forward in between your hands. Lowering your back knee, coming into Anjaneyasana on the other side. So there you go. Lifting up, 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 arms up to the sky. And exhaling, bringing that left arm down to the inside of the left leg, onto the floor, hand on the floor. Inhaling the right arm open to a twist. Beautiful. Feeling your strength, feeling your truth. The acceptance of our bodies, acceptance of where we are right now, how we feel right now, what feels okay right now. Knowing it'll all pass, so it doesn't matter. It's not who we are, it's just what we're experiencing. Exhale that arm down. Inhale up to Anjaneyasana one more time. And then exhale, framing your left foot. Lifting that back knee. Stepping your left foot back into downward facing dog. And slowly walking your hands back to meet your feet to bring you into Uttanasana, forward fold. Just take some breaths here, letting everything go. Everything go. Breathing, breathing, breathing. There's this reading in this book that I always read from Heart Talk, and it talks about unlearning, about how it's just as important to unlearn as it is to learn, because we have these habits and things that we just have always automatically done. And I found that the energy of acceptance, of accepting those things, is the beginning to unlearning them, to be able to say that, ooh, I can be really sharp if somebody pushes this button. And accepting that that's a part of who I am right now. First step to then paying attention to not do it next time. And if I do it again, then giving myself a break and saying, oops, I did it again and I really didn't mean to. Right? Time and time and time again, that awareness is going to start to soften those edges and allow me to move into a place of unlearning things that no longer serve. Bend your knees a lot. Bring your arms forward as if you were reaching for someone across from you. Come halfway up into chair. Take a deep inhale. With your breath in, pump your navel a few times. Hold the breath in, pump your navel. Exhale all the way up to stand, arms reaching toward the sky. Stretch your fingers. And then as you exhale your arms down to your sides, feel the air around you. Flip your palms out. You're going to inhale your arms back up and around, and as you do, come up on your tippy toes. And then flip your palms down. Exhale, coming down toward your heels as your arms come down, and keep going like that a few times. This is an aura clearing exercise, right? And it's also, to me, it's this acknowledgement as we go up and down on our toes, the trust in being rooted into the earth and letting ourselves wobble a little bit, knowing that we don't have to feel our feet firmly on the ground to know that we are being held in that way. Right? So it's okay to move out of your comfort zone with the knowledge that you're always being held, you're always being grounded, you're always being rooted. And the next time you come up and you're up on those tippy toes, stay there for a moment. Bring your palms together down to your heart center. Let those heels touch the floor. Close your eyes. Pause in mountain pose. Feel the energy of you and ask yourself, is there something that I would like to unlearn? Is there something about me that right now I can acknowledge is a part of me that I don't love and that I'd like to shift? Can I accept that part of me? And if you've just done that, then you've taken the first step to releasing the energy of that, to not carrying that around anymore. Really big and simple. And if only simple and easy were the same, right? Let your hands come down to your sides, and you're going to step onto the long side of your mat with your legs nice and wide. So you're going to want to face me, but yeah, on the long side of your mat, nice and wide. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Nice wide-legged forward fold. From here, you're going to walk your hands forward, coming into a wide-legged downward facing dog. So walk forward, let your heart drop down. Imagine my hand right now on your sacrum, gently pressing down, lengthening that spine. And so the spine is moving down. Those sit bones are moving back. Heart is melting. Breathe, long, deep breaths. And then slowly walking yourself back to that forward fold. And in forward fold, staying in forward fold, maybe using your hands to steady you for a moment. Turn your feet so that they're pointing out a little bit. The toes of the feet are pointing out a little bit. Stay nice and wide. And then you're going to begin to bend into one knee and then the other, just moving from side to side. You can keep your hands on the floor if you'd like. Or if it would feel better, you can even place them on your thighs and begin to move from side to side that way. If you're on your thighs, maybe bring your head up a little bit. See what feels good. And then come back to center. Place your hands on the floor, right in the center. Really plant that right hand down as you bring that left arm up to the sky, opening up into a twist. So Natalia, your right hand is planted on the mat and your left arm is coming up. There you go. Yep. Bring that hand down, firmly planting that left hand, right arm up to the sky. Beautiful. Bring that hand down. Reach your left hand for your right ankle, right arm up to the sky. Back down to center, moving to the other side. Back to center. One more time on each side. And then plant your hands on the mat. Just take a breath or two, letting everything go. And then placing your hands on your thighs, you're going to press yourself up to stand, keeping those legs nice and wide. Place your hands on your hips, and now begin again to bend into one knee and then the other. Just a few times. Come to center. Let your arms come down to your sides. You can kind of heel toe your feet toward each other. And then once you feel nice and steady, you can step to the front of your mat. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale down, diving all the way down toward the mat, planting your hands. Stepping your right foot back, your left to meet it. The knees gently coming down to the mat. Knees nice and wide, big toes touching. Melt into child's pose. So often really facing what is our reality in the moment isn't the easiest thing to do, especially if it's a situation that scares you. Right? But if we can practice really radical honesty with ourselves, if we can admit the things that we're afraid to look at to ourselves, then it's the beginning of creating an amazing future. And what I found is that when I take a really good look at the things I've been trying to avoid, the truths I've been trying to not look at, they're never as bad as I think they are. And even if they are as bad as I think they are, without fail, there's someone I can turn to talk to that can help me shift the story, that can help me make it something that's more manageable, that's not so huge. Because none of this stuff is huge. It all comes and it all goes, right? Nothing lasts. Everything is in motion all the time. It's supposed to. Take a deep breath. Exhale with a sigh. And then slowly make your way up to hands and knees and transition onto your back. Something that I always do when I'm working on this kind of stuff, when I'm really looking at my shadows, is I also remember to look at my light, because there's a lot about me that's absolutely amazing. And so it's so important for us to remember when we're taking an inventory of ourselves, to look at both our strengths and our weaknesses. And sometimes it's even harder to acknowledge the amazing things about ourselves than it is to acknowledge the things we don't like. So maybe shifting that energy a bit. So bend your knees, bring your soles onto the mat. Bring your legs as wide as the mat and just begin to do a little bit of windshield wiping here, side to side, letting your legs go. Come back to stillness. Let your legs go wide onto the mat, your arms at your sides. You're going to begin to, in your mind, say the words Sat Nam. Sat Nam means truth is my name, my truth. Right, so you're going to use the chant Sat Nam, and as you say to yourself Sat, you're going to bring your right arm and your right leg up to the sky. So you're on your back, Natalia, yep. Right arm and right leg up to the sky as you say Sat, and then let them come down as you say Nam. And then left arm and left leg up to the sky, Sat, and down, Nam, and just keep going. Letting your lower back relax, letting your shoulders relax, just moving those limbs. Feeling some space being made in those joints. When we get stuck in our minds, when we get stuck in our emotions and our fear, we get stuck in our body so often too. And so really moving the energy of those joints. Sat Nam. Truth is my name. Let your breath move with your motion. Inhaling up, exhaling down. The next time that your left arm and leg go up and then down, let everything rest on the mat. You're going to begin to bring your knees into your chest, Sat, and then your legs straight up in the air, Nam. Back into the chest, Sat, up in the air, Nam. Keep going, just a few times. Next time that you find your knees moving into your chest, let them stay there. Wrap your arms around your knees. Bring your nose towards your knees for a moment. Really squeeze in. And then relax your head back down, keeping your knees where they are. Place one hand on each knee and just begin to circle them away from each other in big wide circles and toward each other. Moving in the opposite direction. And coming to center, you're going to reach for your insteps. We're going to go into happy baby. So reach for your insteps. Bring your knees towards your armpits. Relaxing your lower back, relaxing your shoulders. Take some nice deep breaths. From here, you're going to bring the soles of your feet toward each other, still holding on. But this time, slide your hands to your big toes. Bring the soles of your feet toward each other. And you're going to, holding on to those toes, straighten your legs up toward the sky. Bring them back, soles together, knees bent. This is a version of frogs on your back. So frog is a really beautiful asana pose that really brings all of the chakras into balance. It's a very powerful, powerful pose, but it's very hard on your knees. So this is a version on the back that I love. Really moving the energy through all of the chakras. The next time that the soles of your feet touch, pause there. Let your knees come nice and wide. Hold on to your feet with your hands in any way that feels good. And let the heels move more toward your groin. Really bringing those knees out wide. And then keeping your legs in that position, let them lower down to the ground so you're in supine Baddha Konasana. Soles together, knees bent, arms resting on the mat, eyes closed. Just letting everything marinate. From here, you're going to bring your knees together, planting your feet on the mat, knees bent. You're going to step your heels toward your butt, arms at your sides, and just begin some flowing bridges. Inhaling your arms up overhead as your hips come up off the mat. Exhaling your arms down as you lower your hips. So your arms are going to come all the way up and over, so they're laying on the mat as they come up. All the way behind you, Natalia. Let them go all the way down behind you. And then up again. So they're going to go all the way back so that your arms are laying on the floor. Yeah, you got it. Not your legs, though. Just your arms. Yeah, you got it. And the next time you come up into bridge, arms overhead, stay there for a moment. Take a nice, long, deep breath. As you exhale, lower. Bring your knees into your chest one more time. Nice squeeze, squeeze everything in. And then arms out to a T. Shifting your hips slightly to the left, let your knees move to the right, coming into a spinal twist. Gaze to the left, knees to the right. Come back to center. Move to the other side. Back to center. Let your legs come out nice and long. Relax into Shavasana, taking any final stretches or twists that would feel good before you really settle in. Acceptance, forgiveness, relaxing judgment, letting go, opening the door to a new perspective, paving the way for a future free of the burdens that we've carried for way too long. Let go of the ways you thought life would unfold, the holding of plans or dreams or expectations. Let it all go. Save your strength to swim with the tide. The choice to fight what is here before you now will only result in struggle, fear, and desperate attempts to flee from the very energy you long for. Let go. Let it all go and flow with grace that washes through your days, whether you receive it gently or with all your quills raised to defend against invaders. Take this on faith. The mind may never find the explanations that it seeks, but you will move forward nonetheless. Let go, and the wave's crest will carry you to unknown shores beyond your wildest dreams or destinations. Let it all go and find the place of rest and peace and certain transformation. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing movement back into your fingers and your toes. Letting your head gently rock from side to side. Bringing the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet together. Begin to rub, connecting to that amazing light within. And then gently place your hands on your cheeks, over your eyes for a moment, taking in your own radiance, and bringing those knees into your chest. Gently rock up and down on your spine or roll over to your right. And we'll meet palms together at our hearts in a comfortable seat. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Please join me in sealing our practice together with a long Satnam. Inhale deeply. Sat Nam. Floating your thumbs to the space between your brow, dipping your chin into your own amazing radiance. Be loved, believe, be true to you. Sat Nam.